Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I want to be free as can be.
They say that freedom is the ability to fully experience life. The GUT Credit Union is giving you the freedom to choose. Get a loan for any purpose, whether it's consolidating your debt, buying a vehicle, owning your home, back to school, or a dream vacation. We offer competitive rates with terms and payments that fit your lifestyle. Call 440-1354. Email loans@gutcu.com or visit go.gutcu.com/freedom to start enjoying your life, your money, your way. Promotion ends September 30th, 2022. Special conditions apply. More freedom, more choices. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is Network News for September 7th, 2022. I'm Stacia Blake. In the headlines, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell leads moment of silence reflecting on Hurricane Ivan. One businesswoman optimistic about government's plan to cap freight rate. NDC administration moves forward with 2023 budget retreat, and Harbor Master freed almost 1 month since arrest. In regional news, Guyanese nationals urged to be vigilant against monkeypox. And in international news, police expand search for remaining suspect in Canada's stabbing spree. And coming up in sports, trials for the national senior men's football team taking shape in preparation for international friendly and Nations League match. Details right after this message.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue. Available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. A moment of silence observed, reflecting on the passing of Hurricane Ivan 18 years ago. 18 years ago today, Hurricane Ivan ravaged the island of Grenada, leaving 34 people dead. Chrislina John has that story.
This date, September 7th, 2004, is a significant day in Grenada's history. Hurricane Ivan, a Category 3 hurricane, damaged or destroyed about 80% of the island's infrastructure. Telecommunications interrupted, other utilities, schools, churches, sporting facilities, including that of the National Stadium, and road networks were all seriously impacted. During the Ministry of Finance 2023 budget retreat on Wednesday, Prime Minister the Honorable Deacon Mitchell led a moment of silence to reflect on the lives lost during Hurricane Ivan.
Ivan was and continues to serve as an example for the Caribbean region on the importance of disaster preparedness and the critical need to bolster climate resilience and adaptation as small island states. As we reflect on the anniversary of Hurricane Ivan, let us also reflect on the lessons learned. There are things we can all do as individuals to safeguard our families and homes, including identifying the shelters nearest to you, stocking essential supplies for yourself and your family, cutting overhanging trees, and keeping our insurance payments up to date, particularly property insurance.
For over 8 hours, the island was battered with 120 miles per hour winds that downed trees, some left leafless, bent or broken. roofs were blown off. The eye of the hurricane passed over the capital, St. George's, leaving it stripped of its beauty. According to reports, approximately 60,000 people were left without a shelter. The agriculture and tourism sectors were dealt a blow that had long-lasting impacts on the economy. The financial cost of the disaster was estimated at more than $900 million, more than twice the country's GDP. According to Prime Minister Mitchell, Ivan can be used as a stepping stone towards the improvement of climate resilience.
The government continues to work with development partners to mitigate the effects of climate change and to mobilize resources towards climate resilience and adaptation building. And I want to remind us all that we need to continue to do our part to ensure that we are prepared as we are still during the hurricane season. And the heat and humidity experienced by many of us over the last several days should warn us that, in fact, conditions are ripe for the development of major hurricane storms. So it is a reminder that as we reflect 18 years after the passage of Hurricane Ivan, that this is an ever-present threat to our existence.
On this, the anniversary of the passage of Hurricane Ivan, there are still evidence of its destruction, reflected in the remnants most noticeable in the former Parliament building and the Governor General's residence, among others. Christina John, GBN News.
And while the Caribbean examination results have been out since Monday, and students locally have been able to access their individual results, GBN is yet to receive a comprehensive report of Grenada's performance, including its top performers. Reports are that an issue arose with the results, which saw the Education Ministry seeking confirmation from the Barbados headquarters. So far, no further information has been made available. GBN will continue to check for updates on this year's CXC results. With the government's plans to cap the freight rate to pre-COVID levels from October 1st, business owners are also optimistic that the move will cushion some costs on their businesses and later trickle to consumers. GBN spoke to Anya Chow Chung, Chief Executive Officer of Huggins Grenada, to get an insight into how this can happen.
Putting a cap on freight in Grenada to pre-COVID levels means that government will hold the present value or rates used by customs to charge business owners to clear their goods and temporarily replace it with the rates that were used before COVID, which was lower. Chief Executive Officer of Huggins Grenada, Anya Chowchung, explains how the proposed move by the government will affect business owners and consumers.
Goods that are consumed by the businesses will be lower. So that's a lowering of your operational cost. Because even while we're in the business of wholesaling and retailing, as a company, we do consume these items. We have fleets of trucks. You have fleets of vehicles going out every day. So it will reduce the overall operational cost of businesses. So it stands to reason, and it's logical that if the freight factor is lowered, then the landed cost of goods will be lower. And so consumers can expect that the goods on shelf will see some decrease.
The business operator, however, notes that supply chain issues globally continue to affect many businesses in Grenada. Mrs. Xiaochong says sourcing containers and boxes to ship special products have also added to the increase in goods while affecting their daily operations. Despite this, she says some businesses have done their best to ensure that customers do not get the full brunt of these costs and assures the public that once the government does its part, decrease will be seen on the shelves.
I know a lot of customers are concerned that businesses may not pass on the benefits of this cap on freight, and that's not so. First of all, you have to remember that you're dealing with responsible businesses. And like, for example, Huggins, you don't get to 100 years of service to a country unless you have delivered to your customers. And so these benefits will be passed on. I say so unequivocally, Rena. This is our commitment to our consumers. And whatever advantage we can pass on to the customer, we will, as a responsible business. And if we are doing this, market forces will dictate that all businesses will follow.
Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell, during Grenada's post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday, said cabinet will make a final decision on the matter as the move is to lower the cost of living in Grenada.
So we are optimistic that the cabinet will approve the proposal. The proposal will be for 6 months in the first instance, from the 1st of October 2022, obviously to the end of March 2023, at which time we will review the process. The projections indicate that the government will be losing significant revenue as a result of that, as much as $4 million. We appreciate that it is not an easy decision to make for the government, but we recognize the government must be first about the citizens and the challenges the citizens face. And all governments at this time are taking measures, at least on a temporary basis, until inflation gets under control and until freight prices stabilize and decrease. So the intent here, and I want to stress.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The countdown to the 2023 budget presentation began in earnest with the delivery of the throne speech during the opening of Parliament. Boots on ground was one of the terms used by the National Democratic Congress during its election campaign, and the new administration's mettle will be really tested based on the delivery of the 2023 budget. As we hear in this Gerard Joseph report, the 2023 budget retreat began on Wednesday.
The Dickon Mitchell-led NDC government is pushing forward with its transformation agenda and has now engaged in the critical process of the budget retreat for 2023. According to the Prime Minister, 2 strategic documents to guide the 2023 budget retreat, namely the Preliminary Budget Framework Paper and Preliminary Mid-term Fiscal Framework, have already been approved by Cabinet.
Both documents provide an outline of the 2023 budget and the next 2 forward years, based on an assessment of the macroeconomic and fiscal outlook of the domestic economy. Today, colleagues, you'll be receiving a presentation on the Medium-Term Action Plan, or the MTAP, which attempts to distill the strategic direction and priorities for the next 3 years within the broader context of our transformational agenda and the national vision for Grenada.
It is the first budget retreat under the Dickon Mitchell NDC administration. Some of the major objectives highlighted by Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell are to deliberate on recent microeconomic developments and outcomes, to discuss the strategic focus and priorities for the midterm, and in particular the 2023 budget.
We are mindful of the global outlook and the specter of a recession next year, which will no doubt have implications for our small economy. There is a confluence of forces that can impact us negatively and make policy making very difficult. They include the war in Ukraine, which seems to have no end in sight, high inflation, the continuation of supply chain disruptions, and a global recession, to name a few.
The Prime Minister believes the right policies can position Grenada for an uncertain future while remaining optimistic of continued economic growth nationally.
It is therefore imperative that we implement the right mix of policies, projects, and programs to enable the transformation that is so needed. The annual budget is therefore a most important public policy tool, and its preparation must be done with utmost integrity and seriousness. I urge each of you to dig deep, ask the difficult questions, and propose new ideas and solutions as we engage in this important activity this morning. Remember, we cannot expect different results if we continue to do things the same way or have the same mindset.
He notes the budget presentation will be delivered in late November to early December, in keeping with the requirements of the Public Finance Management Act. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Almost 1 month into the Anderson Peters versus the Harbor Master saga, the ship has been freed. Beverly Tellisford has the details.
The ship Harbor Master, registered in Trinidad and Tobago, departed from Grenada on Wednesday, September 7, 2022. The ship came to Grenada for Carnival festivities in August 2022. However, it was arrested in Grenada when some of its crew inflicted harm and grievous harm on Grenadian World Javelin champion Anderson Peters and his brother Keaton Peters on August 10th. Those crew members were charged and pleaded guilty at the St. George's Magistrates Court for their offences. The arrest of the ship was related to civil proceedings brought brought by the Peters brothers in the High Court of Grenada against the owners of the ship regarding the said harm and grievous harm. Attorney at law representing the Peters brothers in the civil matter, Derek Sylvester, says constructive, cordial, and focused professional legal talks between the two teams of lawyers produced a mutually satisfactory conclusion to this stage of the matter. Cajetan Hood, one of the lawyers representing the harbour master, revealed the grounds in which the boat was released.
The boat has been released from the judicial arrest, right, on the basis that the insurers have set out letters saying that the boat is insured in excess of that. So in other words, if at all there are damages that are awarded, then lawyers on behalf of the Peters may levy against the insurance company based on the value of the insurance. So that's the situation right now.
Hood detailed his next move with regards to the civil matter.
As I said before, based on the conduct of the Peters, and I know certain members of the profession were upset at me for saying that, you started a war. Rather than sitting in private and working things out, which we thought was possible on the Monday morning, we have an extended situation where for 4 weeks, the owners are deprived from income of the boat. So now the Peters would have to establish that there was a liability on the boat in the first instance, and the Peters have to then establish what's the measure of the liability, and that has to be weighed against the damage done to the boat.
The attorney at law revealed the harbour master's intentions to countersue the Peters brothers.
Certainly, there'll be countersuits, there'll be the defense, counterclaim, and as I said, we are in the process of drafting a challenge to what the DPP did. In pursuance of that, I'm awaiting a response from the DPP, the learned DPP, with respect to certain clarification I am seeking on his decision to discontinue proceedings, which he didn't start.
The issue, according to Sylvester, was the posting by the ship of proper security in the event of the ship being found liable in the High Court civil case. The High Court case will continue in the normal way. For GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
This is news at 7. Coming up, investigations into recent fires complete, but parked vehicles hindering faster responses. Stay with us.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Do you know that you can lower your electricity bill by switching to energy-efficient appliances? By switching to energy-efficient appliances, you can help lower your energy usage. Your refrigerator, for example, is amongst the highest energy-consuming appliances within your home as it remains running throughout the day and night. Switching to an energy-efficient refrigerator can lower your electricity bill by up to 40%. As an individual consumer, I cannot impact global fuel prices. However, I can ease the burden of rising fuel rates by switching to energy-efficient appliances. What can you do?
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always at Grenlec.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now! We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys.
We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
Hubbard's is adapting to the times to enhance your shopping convenience with its new online store. You can now shop for appliances, hardware, houseware, builder's material, and still enjoy free delivery island-wide. Start shopping now at www.hubbardshardware.gd. Safe, convenient, reliable. Hubbard's. Quality service, affordable prices.
Pfizer celebrates 75 years of transforming lives with its celebratory suite of loan products. Own your own vehicle, education, land, or home, and anchor your roots. Start living the life you deserve by applying for an Own Your Own loan at reduced interest rates. Simplify your life and consolidate all your debts by applying for a Simplify loan and open doors to new beginnings and explore more opportunities to shape your future. Call or send us a WhatsApp on 423-4987 or email us at loans@arisecu.com today to continue your journey towards financial freedom. Terms and conditions apply. Ariza Credit Union, celebrating 75 years of transforming lives.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Building or renovating your home or business? Why not use clean, renewable energy? Install solar panels to power your home and office and see your energy costs go down and your savings go up. Using renewable solar-powered energy protects our environment, reduces our carbon footprint, and slows the devastating impact of climate change. Republic Bank can help to finance construction and renovations that make use of renewable energy. Visit any Republic Bank branch and ask about renewable energy financing options today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Investigations into the 3 house fires over the weekend have been completed, while another is still ongoing on a house fire in St. Andrew on Tuesday night, being conducted by the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. We get more in this Rena Pierre Thomas report.
Last weekend, fire destroyed a boat structure in Apatute St. David and partially destroyed 2 wall structures in River Road and Glasgow Bay in St. George, respectively. Investigations into these fires have been concluded, says the officer in charge of the fire department within the Royal Grenada Police Force, Adrian Panchu.
So that fire at River Road was undetermined. At Apatute, that fire, based on the information received, it was actually started by someone who is a suspected lunatic. That person has some mental challenges. And then that fire in Glasgow Bay, which I did the investigation on, getting there, it was accidental due to an electrical malfunction of a standing fan.
The sergeant also spoke of another house fire in Telescope St. Andrew on Tuesday night.
The fire is actually accidental. The 2 vessels involved were unserviceable vessels. They were actually being prepared to be sunk along with members of the diving club. So speaking to the person in charge of that, they actually was doing some cleaning the evening before, and they actually had that area, about a 2-foot area square of stainless steel, that they were actually burning some of the rubbish. To him, when they completed around 7 o'clock, he threw water on it and he thought thought it went out, but about 45 minutes after, they were alerted by smoke, and by the time they got there and tried to extinguish that fire, they were unable to. So that is how the fire started. But what I can say is a one-story structure which was fully engulfed on the arrival of the persons from the Grenville Fire Department. That structure was completely destroyed. As it relates to the cause or so forth, that is still under investigation.
The officer explains that while we have seen several fires over the past few weeks, compared to last year, fewer house fires were recorded.
Because on record, we have 27 dwelling house fires. Yes, these fires, you might have multiple structures involved. So you might have a double where 2 structures is involved. We had that fire in Victoria where we had 6 structures being affected. But on record, in terms of fires, we have 27 dwelling house fires on record for the year up to the ending of August, and then as September started, we have 4 so far. So that would bring us to 31, compared to the same period up to August last year when we actually had 39 dwelling house fires. So we have a decrease in 12 fires as we stand presently from January to August in terms of dwelling house fires.
Sergeant Panchu indicated that most of the fires recorded are accidental and explained some of the factors that led to them.
You have various causes, but I said accidental is one that we are seeing. Accidental, more so electrical origin, persons leaving electrical appliances plugged in. I recall earlier on this year we had one where someone left an iron plugged in, and we have the fire causing from that. We have seen maybe 3 fires so far where we had an electrical fan being left plugged in. And the issue with these appliances is, especially with the fans, what I've noticed is that persons are using the fans and they're actually taking it out from the back of the fan. So you have that switch, that on and off switch, 1, 2, 3 in the back of the fan. So they take it off in that area, but they're not taking off the switch itself. So electricity is still going to the fan, and once electricity is going to the fan and it's not being used, you'll have a buildup of heat, and then you see ignition occurring and a fire starting from those electrical appliances.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Meanwhile, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force say that they've been faced with a burning and reoccurring issue when going out to fight fires. They explain that the parking of vehicles on both sides of the road poses an issue in certain areas. More in this report.
Officer in charge of Fire Department, Sergeant Adrian Panchu, explains that as recent as last weekend, members of the Fire Department had a challenge in reaching a burning house on time, as vehicles parked on both sides of the road hindered their operations.
A lot of the times when we respond to fires at night, we do have that challenge as it relates to access. A lot of persons, they buy vehicles, they don't have a garage, so they park on the side of the road. And a lot of the times they don't take into consideration the fact that there can be an emergency and a bigger vehicle might need to pass, so they barely leave the minimum for a regular vehicle to pass. And we have that challenge. Sometimes we have to be honking the horns and so forth, and persons have to come out of the house to remove those vehicles. And when that happens, it actually delays our response time, and at the end of the day, sometimes it causes persons to lose their entire homes.
Officer Panchu is appealing to drivers to be mindful of where they park their vehicles, noting the possible effects on emergency vehicles and first responders. He says while he understands that need for vehicle owners to park closer to home, consideration must be practiced.
The aspect is that persons must be safety conscious. So even though you have a vehicle, it doesn't mean that you need to park exactly outside your house. I know as it relates to safety, the security of your vehicle, you want to have it close by so you can see what is happening. But then you have to actually balance that against the safety aspect of an emergency happening in your area. So whenever you're going to park on the side of the road, ensure that you leave enough space so an emergency vehicle, well in Grenada the biggest emergency vehicle is a fire appliance, can be able to pass at any point in time.
Meanwhile, the officer pointed out that the traffic department is continuing its effort in dealing with the issue of derelict vehicle on the side of the roads.
RGPF administration along with the traffic department has gone out. They went out to several areas and they actually affix notice to those vehicles that the owners of these vehicles are supposed to remove them. If they don't remove them, it would be towed away at the cost of the owner. So that has been done. As you might have seen in the past, a record has been attached to the RGPF, and I think the issue right now is actually the area for storing those vehicles when you remove them from the side of the road, because you don't want to remove somebody's vehicle and you don't have a proper place to store it, and later on that person comes to claim their vehicle and you're not able to give them. So that is one of the challenges at this point in time, but I think an area has been identified and we're actually working on getting these vehicles from the side of the road.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
The J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School welcomed a cadre of 72 students within its walls on Monday. Among them was a visually impaired student, a first for the school. This student is being described by acting principal Ms. Laurel Bartholomew as a warm, attentive individual. Christina John has that story.
12-year-old Magdalene Charles is a past student of the South St. George Government School who was successful in this year's CPA exams. In an interview with her mom, who opted to speak off camera, she told GBN due to complications during her birthing period, Magdalene's sight was affected and has deteriorated over time as she grew. She noted, though, that her daughter does not let her challenge stand in her way.
She rather surprised me and a lot of teachers and people because she normally uses a cane, but she tells herself that she's not blind, so she don't really use the cane as she's supposed to. She learned her environment in less than a week. So once she learns her environment, she moves about like normal. You have to watch her very closely to know that she cannot see properly. But she moves about normally. She always wants to be independent. She don't like people toting her around. She have this theory that people say things that will make her uncomfortable without she hearing. That's just her form of thinking. So she wants to be like the normal kid. So she tries to do certain things on her own.
Magdalene, now a Form 1 student, will have to adapt to a new environment, as she is among the 72 new students inducted into the walls of the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School. Her first day at the institution was on Monday. Although it's a first for the school, having to work with a visually impaired student, acting principal Laurel Bartholomew says they have had students with other challenges.
Do have a student among the Form 1 who is visually impaired, and for me it is not a strange language because I would have worked as special needs student at the primary level, all right, and I mean what I admire about the child is how she would, she seems to be very humble, and at the same time, as you know, when you loses one sight or you loses one senses, all right, the others act up for you. And you can see she keenly listens. The auditory part of it, she listens because
Magdalene's eye condition is repairable. However, her parents are limited financially. School's principal says they will do all they can to create an enabling environment for her.
So first and foremost, I would like them to introduce her to the Braille because they tried starting it at primary school level. I don't know what they was doing that she was not interested in it. And apart from the Braille, I would like her to feel more comfortable because only one challenge I see she had in school is with the kids picking on her because of her condition.
So what we already started speaking about is actually having a buddy system for her, having at least a student or the class itself maybe looking out for her some more so as to take her around. So whatever that we would do as a school, thank God we have a counselor, we have now we are going to be blessed with our literacy person, and for such need we know the itinerant person, so we hope to get some background history, and which we have started today. The counselor started that with the parent, and from the hopefully to get some from the primary school which a child came from, and the visually impaired facility.
Christina John, GBN News.
And addressing regional airlift, reducing taxes, and One Caribbean airspace, that's what's been creating a buzz on social media. Beverly Tellisford has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz report.
GBN Social Buzz is reaching beyond the local platform to share with you what's trending on social media. Reducing taxes and creating a single Caribbean space are recommendations being put forward to attract regional travel. Former GTA chairman is hopeful for improvement of regional airlift.
The NDC government has hinted that the cap in fuel prices at the pump and the 25% reduction in the non-fuel charges for the Grenada Electricity Company may be removed. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell at the government post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday says that a final decision will be made in cabinet next Monday.
As you're aware, the prior administration had capped the retail price per gallon of fuel at the pump to $15 per gallon. At the next post-cabinet briefing, we will make an announcement as to whether that will remain in place or whether we will remove the cap, and if we do, what are the measures we will take to assist with.
Social media users took to the comment section to express concerns about this latest development. The following views are of the members of the public and not of the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Gren said, "Yes, the prices for tickets are very high." Mark added, "We've all been hopeful. Government has never stood besides its words and let Antigua rule the air. Time now Liat is dead to open the air to travel. But hey ho, easy to talk and easy to comment." Holly said, "The one Caribbean destination was done during Cricket World Cup via a sunset legislation. It is doable." Michelle added, "All this money governments put into this airline and still collapse. Still bad management." Deborah said, "Thank you for speaking out. Also one have to do too much connecting flights to get to Canada." Ricardo said, "The ticket prices need to be addressed." Roger said, "Happy to know you are addressing this issue that is a catalyst to regional trade and development." This person added, "Grenada through British Airways has Airlink to St. Lucia twice weekly and the ticket prices are very reasonable. Travelers should take advantage of this opportunity. Short 25 minutes flight on a big jet." That's what's buzzing tonight. We encourage you, our viewers and listeners, to submit your think pieces on trending topics locally, regionally, and internationally via our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, 3-week free dental clinic comes to an end. This is News at 7.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Solar lights are back in stock and will be available for purchase at Southern Electrical. Here is a list of the solar lights that we offer. 200 to 300 watt intelligent floodlights with camera, 300 to 500 watt solar street lights, 60, 100, 200 and 500 RGB solar floodlights, 100, 200, 300, 500 and 800 solar floodlights, solar garden lights, 25, 40, 60, 100 and 200 watt solar floodlights, 3, 7 and 10 watt solar wall lights, motion center garden lights, motion sensor floodlights, 30, 60 and 90 watt solar street lights with accessories, 5 watt solar wall lamps, 40 and 60 solar street lights, and 100 and 300 solar floodlights with battery power display. Now available at Southern Electrical, Dusty Highway, St. George. Visit our showroom today.
Be ready for school with the coolest deals from Quartz. Free gift with your back-to-school purchases. Plus big discounts on cell phones, computers, printers, televisions, and more. Shop today with no cash and get instant credit on 3 to 48 months credit plan. Save big with great deals and head back to school in style. Only from Quartz. Bringing value home. Conditions apply.
WeatherGuard Pro. For every project, there's only one Pro.
Here's a little known fact. There is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Stacia Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Stacia Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Stacia Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grand Anse. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679 or 406-1500 or visit any of our 3 locations. Stacia Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
Welcome back, and it's a wrap. Great Shape Incorporated Dental Clinic wraps up a 3-week volunteerism service to Grenada. More in this report.
The need for dental care exists following an almost overwhelming response from the general public. The 3 weeks of free dental care organized by the U.S. Canada-based Great Shape Inc., Ministry of Health Grenada, and the Sandals Foundation saw over 2,000 persons being served. Of the core services provided, 34% of the patients were provided with clean-ins, another 38% received fill-ins, and 28% required extractions. An oral surgeon also did intensive retroactive work, even so far as to perform a total of 17 root canals. The free clinic, which aimed at improving the dental and overall health of individuals through services and dental hygiene education, was fully embraced and aligned with the goals of the local Ministry of Health and Wellness. Senior dental surgeon Dr. Julie Dubois was appreciative of the generosity of the volunteers.
We want to especially thank them because they're so generous in that, and considerate as well, in that they took into consideration the fact that because of COVID, they were not able to come in 2020 and 2021. So instead of doing like a week or 2 weeks, they've decided to do 3 weeks.
Dillian Forrester is the public relations manager at Sandals Grenada. She says Sandals Grenada ensured support was provided to Great Shape Inc. dental volunteers during their time of service to Grenada. The Sister Isle of Carriacou also benefited.
First time since our collaboration with Great Shape, we were actually able to reach Carriacou as well, and we serve persons at the medical center there. And looking on to plans for 2023, we want to include Carriacou more extensively. We only did 3 days there this year, but plans are already in place to extend our time in Carriacou for 2023.
Among the health concerns identified was a high rate of cavities and tooth decay in children. Looking onwards to 2023, Great Shape Inc. and the Ministry of Health plans to deliver a children's protective sealant program and to reach more children and adults on the Sister Isles, Carriacou and PT Martinique. Follow-up services will be provided to those who received dental care on the island. Dates and time will be announced. Christelina John, GBN News.
And there are concerns about the Grand Etang Road. It's time to take a peek through the GBN ISOL lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOL is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Our GBN Eye Saw tonight comes from a concerned citizen. Their concern lies within an area along the Grand Etang Road. Our citizen journalist is calling on authorities to erect some sort of barrier along the roadway, which he refers to as a vehicular hazard. We thank our ISO reporter for that submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And stay with us. We'll have tonight's sports report when we return.
Fuel your dreams with a communal vehicle loan. It's a huge deal with super awesome rates and discounts. Get the vehicle that's just for you. Enjoy your journey. Make memories. Explore more. We're fueling dreams to your destination. It's a huge deal and it's just for you. Your destination, and we'll take you there. Call or message us on WhatsApp 405-6670 or 405-2248. Let's get you where you have to be with Communal and Friends. This special promotion is in collaboration with The Beacon Insurance, Netherlands Insurance, Greens Automotive, RF Motors, and Specialized Automotive. We're fueling dreams to your destination. Apply today. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
If there was ever a time to keep and stay healthy, it's now! We at Hills and Valley are here to help you take deliberate steps to maintain your health. We stayed true to maintaining the most comprehensive rates while stocking the widest range of medicines and health devices, including personal protective equipment. There are so many benefits shopping with us. You get great savings through discounts for senior citizens and reward cards for loyal customers. Ask about owning yours today. Visit us at Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George, Jubilee Street opposite the Grenville Bus Terminal, and at Hillsborough, Carriacou. Our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street also stocks the widest range of pharmaceuticals. We are with you on the hills and in the valleys. We are Hills and Valley Pharmacy.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Grenville, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Okay, sports fans, let's see what's been happening out there on the fields, courts, and tracks. The Barbados Royals made it 3 out of 3 as they thrashed the Knight Riders by 80 runs in a rain-affected match earlier today. Batting first, the Royals put on a majestic batting display. Myers hit 52, David Miller slammed 66, and Quinton de Kock hit 44 as the Bajan franchise racked up 194 for 4 off their 20 overs. Then came the Knight Riders' run chase, and trouble came fast as the first wicket fell with the score on 13. It was then 2 for 26. The third wicket fell with the score on 27. The Knight Riders were reeling on 51 for 7 when the rain came to bring a much preferred end to what seemed to be the inevitable. The Royals sit top of the leaders board with 6 points from 3 matches. Match 9 of the Hero CPL 2022 will see the second-place Talawas take on the St. Lucia Kings at 7 this evening. Trials for the men's national senior team continue under the watchful eyes of interim head coach Anthony Nixon Modeste. 30 local players from various clubs were invited to participate. The group went into training from 16th of August 2022 in preparation for an international friendly against St. Vincent and the Grenadines, carded for September 17th, 2022 in Carriacou. There are also plans for the team to play an international friendly during the upcoming FIFA window in September. And in addition to all of that, the senior men's national team is preparing for their CONCACAF Nations League home encounter against the USA in March 2023. Meanwhile, strength, fitness, and performance coach Claudio Altieri is busy getting the players match ready for their friendly. Later in the month, the senior men's national team is also preparing for their CONCACAF Nations League home encounter against the USA in March 2023. Experts say football requires a diversity of physical attributes such as jumping and walking, running, and sprinting. Coach Altieri says an elite aerobic and anaerobic capacity is necessary for optimum delivery on the pitch.
Fitness is extremely important in today's football, modern football. If we watch international matches, not including EPL, but when we watch Nations League, CONCACAF, at senior level, the standards of the game and the demands of the game are extremely high. I would argue the fact that football today is not 90 minutes anymore. It's 95, 100, and players that need to be ready to hit those targets.
And to the track, Jamaican world champion Sharika Jackson says she's targeting American great Florence Griffith Joyner's 34-year-old 200-meter world record in Thursday's Diamond League final. Jackson ran 21.45 seconds to win gold in Eugene in July. Griffith Joyner won an Olympic gold at Seoul in 1988 in 21.34 seconds. Jackson played down fears that the timetable for the season finale in Zurich may hamper her. She's also competing in the 100-meter final 80 minutes before she runs in the longer distance. Jackson will take on her friend and compatriot Shelly Ann Fraser-Price in the 100-meter final, with Great Britain's Daryl Nita also in the field. Fraser-Price, who's 35 years old, believes she can end her season by improving on the 10.60 second personal best she set in Lausanne in 2021. And finally, a devastated Nick Kyrgios is out of the U.S. Open after eventually being outbatted by Russia's Karan Kakhanov in a tense quarterfinal in New York. The 27-year-old Australian, who needed treatment on his left thigh after the first set, lost 7-5, 4-6, 7-5, 6-7, 6-4 to 27th seed Kakhanov. The world number 31 edged a tight opener when the first break point of the match went his way in the 12th game, with Kyrgios requiring treatment afterwards and saying he was struggling to walk. But Kyrgios recovered and found top gear in the second set to level the match. The Wimbledon runner-up continued to create chances in the third set, but grew frustrated when his forehand broke down in the 9th game and stopped him taking away any of 2 break points. After clattering his racket on the court, Kyrgios was unable to forget the missed opportunities as he served the exits of Rafael Nadal and Marine Cilic in the last 16 on Monday means a first-time Grand Slam men's singles champion will be crowned in New York on Sunday. That's sports news for now. now for what's happening in the region and the wider globe. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony is employing Guyanese nationals to be highly vigilant against the monkeypox virus. HGP-TV reports.
Underscoring that monkeypox can be only transmitted through close contact, the health minister is still urging persons to be vigilant. Anthony reported that the 2 monkeypox patients are responding well to treatment at the Ocean View Infectious Diseases Hospital. Anthony iterated that many persons who experience flu, headaches, runny nose, or similar symptoms to COVID-19 become paranoid. However, the health minister noted that this can be only rectified through COVID testing to differentiate the 2 viral infections.
So that is why if you get these symptoms and you're not sure, the better thing to do is to have a test done. So if you do a COVID test, you would be able to differentiate whether it's a flu you're having or whether you're having COVID.
Anthony, in sensitizing the populace, explained that COVID is caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, while flu or influenza is caused by the influenza A or B pathogen. The health minister noted that for persons who would have contracted the COVID-19 virus post-full vaccination, their chances of experiencing long COVID symptoms are minimal.
If you took the vaccine and then got infected, there have been studies that have shown that the chances of getting long COVID is much more reduced.
Protect yourself from the powerful UV rays of the sun. That's the message from medical professionals as St. Lucians endure a punishing heat wave that shows no signs of letting up. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George offered advice on how to avoid heat exhaustion amid the issuance of a heat alert. More from HTS News Force.
Thermometer breaking, punishing summer heat throughout the day and humid conditions at night have persisted for months. The torrid temperatures have prompted a cautionary word from Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belmar George, who calls on the public to protect themselves from the blistering heat and stave off heat exhaustion.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've noted the increases above normal in the temperature here on island. It is important that St. Lucians take the necessary precautions to prevent possible heat-related illnesses, and one of those would be dehydration. So especially when the temperatures are higher than normal, it's important that we prevent dehydration by ensuring that we drink and keep our fluids up, and the best fluid would be water.
Severe exhaustion can lead to heat stroke, which can be deadly. Quench your thirst, says the CMO, who advises against allowing the body to become exhausted before rehydrating with fluids.
Don't wait to become thirsty. It's important that you regularly drink water throughout the day, especially when you're outdoor or exposed to the increases in temperature.
Canadian police say one suspect is dead and they're still searching for Miles Sanderson, the second suspect in the spree of stabbings that killed 10 and wounded 18 in Saskatchewan, Canada. ABC News has the details.
Well, Diane, we know that the search is still going right now, and we got a sense that they've expanded the search, because for a while they were believing that Miles Sanderson, 30-year-old Miles Sanderson, was in the town of Regina, which is about an hour and a half from where we are right now. But the police chief came out yesterday and said that they no longer believe that he's in that area. So it gives you every sense that they believe that he could be anywhere at this point, and they're continuing to search not only on the ground but also in the air as well for any sign of Sanderson. They're both brothers. You mentioned Damian Sanderson. He was 31 years old. He and his brother Miles, who is still on the run this morning, they were both suspects in this stabbing, this mass stabbing that happened on Sunday morning. 10 people killed, 18 wounded, and all we know about them is that they are siblings. We also know, according to authorities and records here, that Miles has a lengthy criminal record, and again, police are saying that he's armed and dangerous.
And that's what's been happening around the globe. We'll return to Grenada's shores with a recap of the night's top headlines. And now for a recap of the night's top headlines. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell leads moment of silence reflecting on Hurricane Ivan. One businesswoman optimistic about government's plans to cap freight rate. And DC administration moves forward with 2023 budget retreat, and Harbor Master freed almost 1 month since arrest. In regional news, Guyanese nationals urged to be vigilant against monkeypox. And in international news, police expand search for remaining suspect in Canada's stabbing spree. In sports, trials for the national senior men's football team taking shape in preparation for international friendly and Nations League match. That's GBN News for Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcasted following the CPL match tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television's Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Stacia Blake. Thank you for joining us. Good night from all of us in the newsroom.